everybody, and welcome back to 23rd Garage. Today I am super excited. We actually are going to get started on the Rubicon here. As you can see, we've got it pushed up to the door. We tried to start it, but it would not start. The radiator is pushed into the front of the motor, and so it's basically just stopping it from starting. I'm gonna grab a come along. We're gonna pull that out a bit, see if it comes out. Maybe even just get the framework done without even putting it on the frame rack. I don't know. We'll see. Come along. It's pulled a few frames. You know, when that thing rips off, it's gone. Now that we've released it, we're going to crank it up and get it on the rack super fast. And we're going to do it really fast. Since we took the belt off, there's not going to be no water cooling. So what we need to do now is we need to just put a couple of blocks under it and chain it down from the back. And then we are going to grab the radiator support here and pull it out until these rods here become straight. And you know, we'll pull it out, make sure that the cab right here comes out a bit. As you can see, it did flex it in a little bit. So hopefully some of that kink will come out. It probably won't come out like perfectly, but I don't think we will have to do any body work here. All right, so pretty straightforward stuff. Let's get some blocks under it, some chains on it, and get this thing yoinked. Watch this, I'm gonna lift this Jeep up, and you're gonna push that under there. That's right, you don't need a jack when I'm around. The frame actually has some very convenient spots to connect to. This slot right here is basically made for attaching a special type of hook, which I'm going to show you right now. This hook right here, I don't know what it's called, but it's a hook. So it goes inside this hole, it goes in sideways like this. When you twist it, it locks. I cannot stress enough the fact that this hook is not made for strapping it down super hard and doing crazy pulls. When you're using this right here, it has to be something very mild like these fenders. Because if you hook this down and start pulling a kink frame rail, I promise you 9 times, well, probably 10 times out of 10, that thing's either gonna damage the frame or it's gonna tear the frame. I've seen a lot of cars, or a lot of Jeeps, trucks, SUVs that have full frames that have those particular parts of the frame all bubbled out, torn out. Some people be selling them, rebuilding them and selling them with little gashes torn out of them. So you gotta watch for that. That's one big thing that you gotta watch for. If you're buying a Jeep, or if you're buying any truck, look, just take a flashlight, look up under there and see if this area around this hole is nice and flat. If it's nice and flat, then it's never been yoinked on. If it's all bubbled up or even torn, stay away from that thing. Third time's a charm. So we got the Jeep strapped down to the rack, and I want to show you guys all the aftermarket stuff. I know we're not ready for it, but they did already send it, so it's all here. We've got fender flares, I think front and rear bumpers, the winch. We've got the seat covers. So it's going to be decked out all in rough country. It's going to look amazing, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all this stuff that they sent. This is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, huge shout out to Rough Country for coming through with all the aftermarket parts. They always make all our off-road builds look amazing. So we're super excited about that. But for now, we need to get this thing actually fixed. and he's about to go whap. Pull on it a little bit more. All right.
Look at that. You don't have to save that fender.
No, look, that flex came out of it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's really all I wanted to do is get that flex out, and then now on this side, he didn't buy another fender for this side, so I need to jerk this thing
to get
forward.
that little kink out right there.
Yeah, try to get this kink out. I don't even know though, because you see how this fender is like up. Maybe.
I'll go see what you mean.
Yeah, maybe we should just replace this one as well. So we did pull on the fender a little bit. It's a little too bent. I don't like how bowed it is. And so Paul went ahead and just ordered a new one. I'm sure the owner's not going to mind. It's got very low miles, and all the stuff that we hang on this Jeep is going to definitely be worth it. Probably need to go get a battery for it as well, just to make sure that that starter's not bad.
Yeah.
If the starter turns out to be bad, we'll have to pop a starter on there. So let's get this front end torn apart. All right, so we got both the fenders off. We got the radiator support off. We got all the radiators off. I don't know for sure, but it looks like the frame is over a little bit to this side. I did say something about that earlier after noticing this right here. So we've got the tram gauge here, and I've got it I've got it on the shock tower here, and also on the bolt for the sway bar link on this side. Let's see how bad it's off, if it is even off. I think it's off. I think it's over to that side. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. There's been a lot of times when I claim that there's frame damage, but it turns out there's none.
Okay.
Oh, see, I was right. Look at that.
So it's got frame damage, huh?
So exactly what I said. Was that not what I said, Nate?
I believe you, man.
Yeah, I told you. The second I looked at it from right here, I could tell, because look, the distance on this side of the motor is a lot bigger than the distance on this side of the motor. So we need to pull the rails over to the left of the Jeep. I always say the vehicle's side because it's just easier so I don't get confused. So it's going to go to the left, and judging by how much it's off, I would say that it needs to go over almost 1/4 of an inch. Almost. Not quite. Like, whatever's like a little bit off of 1/4. I don't know fractions. I don't. Never finished high school, so. So I got this thing strapped down, and I only put one chain here because it literally needs to go like not even 1/8 of an inch. And so I've got my chain wrapped around right here. This is a good way to do it. It's going to distribute the contact points, and like I said, it's a very light pull. Not even gonna lie, the frames on these Jeeps are probably some of the softest frames that I've ever worked with. Like, you can take this whole front end and just over pull it, or it moves easily. I think honestly, I think they're made to be like that. I think they're made to like bend and flex. So it's like really easy. It's kind of like a semi-truck frame, but the semi-truck frame is very rigid and it's made to flex and go back into its position, versus this where it's like when it flexes, it'll stay in that position if it goes too far. So I think that's actually like a design feature on this frame. So we're gonna put a very light pull on it and then measure it again.
See it?
Dead center.
Dead center here.
Dead center.
See the other side?
Horrible way to measure here, but I'd say that's
dead center, bro. We got him squared up.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't going to take much. Hey, I wanted to show them that plate that we did on the other truck.
Oh yeah, okay, before we wrap up this video, let's go check that out.
Yeah. G35 is almost ready for paint. Look at that. Very nice.
Oh, Vlad did a really good job on that bodywork, I gotta say.
Yeah, and I did a very crappy job on that seam sealing.
Oh,
that was me. I admit, that was me. Horrible.
Oh, it looks good, man.
Horrible. Horrible. So, I put some plates right there. A lot of people are asking me if it's a good idea to put a plate there. I think it is, simply because of the fact that this rail was basically broken. I didn't really like stress that in the last video, but there was a crack in the rail at the top and at the bottom, and this rail being bent almost in half, like this thing was way over here. You guys seen it? It's weakened that metal a lot, and then bending it back weakens it even more, not to mention the fact that I heated it as well. So I think that the plates are going to be a good idea, even if they're a little bit too strong. I don't think that it's going to be a safety concern. Yeah, maybe it won't bend as much, but it's just gonna bend in front of the plate. Right, that's all that's going to happen. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think it'll be fine. We're actually going to order him a new fender, and he's gonna be here later today. I'm gonna show him all the stuff that he's missing, and hopefully he'll let us go ahead and order all the parts for him, because if Paul jumps on that, we'll have all these parts within a couple of days. We'll have this trip done and out of here. I think he already ordered the paint for it, so we just need to trim out all the parts and paint it and assemble it, get it out of here. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be probably in the next couple of videos. I don't know when. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, keeps us motivated, keeps us bringing you guys good content. Also, if you want, you can check us out on Instagram as well, 23rd_garage. We post a lot of little sneak previews, and we also post the type of bloopers that are going on right now. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.